Today is a sort of a sunny August 19th, 2025. Not a bad day at all. Nice breeze blowing in the upper 70s. We're at Merillon Avenue Station. Gonna get some action on the main line triple track through here. Approaching is 2060 from Grand Central to Ronkonkoma. No stop. Long Island's fairly new sensation, the triple track main line east of Floral Park to Hicksville. 342, here comes 2055, Ronkonkoma to Grand Central. .359 approaching is 656. Long Island City to Port Jefferson. The leader of the Port Jefferson rush hour fleet from the city. Approaching fast as 1964 from Penn Station, New York to Ronkonkoma. He's stumping over Nassau 1 interlocking down there. 1861, Ronkonkoma to Penn. Train 1961 from Ronkonkoma to Penn Station with M9s at 413. Air Lingus UK from Manchester, England to JFK. Airbus 330. At 420, this is train 1656. Grand Central to Huntington. He stops here. Comes 1657, Huntington to Grand Central at 427. Well, on track 1 coming east at 428 is 558 from Hunters Point Avenue to Oyster Bay. 437, this is 1966 from Penn Station to Ronkonkoma with M9s. Here's 1658 Grand Central to Huntington at 440. Kawasaki M9s. I personally find them to be a joy to ride in. They're smooth riding, and you can actually see out the windows compared to the M7s. Even the M3s are better seeing out the window. Approaching westbound at 446 is train 657, Port Jefferson to Jamaica. Then shoving hard is D30AC 409. No K5 LLA horn blowing here, and it's on the rear anyway. Well, arriving at 448 is train 1968 from Penn Station to Ronkonkoma. This guy will have 12 1980s built Bud M3s. Sorry, he only had 10. Well, coming west is 2057, Ronkonkoma to Grand Central. Rush hour is pretty much getting started now, so they'll start using track 1 for eastbounds. At 452, our first customer is train 658 en route from Hunters Point Avenue to Port Jefferson. Any time on this. Speed limit through here is 80 miles an hour. 453, this is train 1561 from Huntington to Penn Station, New York. With those M7s with the crystal clear windows where you can see for miles. 2064 Grand Central to Ronkonkoma. Right behind him should be 18. Hunters Point Avenue to Montauk and 560 Jamaica to Oyster Bay. 18 Hunters Point Avenue to Montauk at 502. Powered by good old D30AC 411. That's got a great K5 LA horn, but tis not hearing it here today. Approaching at 505 is 1963 Ronkonkoma to Penn. He's holding up eastbound 560 from Jamaica to Oyster Bay. He's got to slide over to track 3 to make his Mineola stop. Here comes 560 for Oyster Bay. Going kind of slow. Still hasn't got a signal. Well, that's because of this westbound equipment train with M9s coming. This could be a mighty busy place. That was 1970 from Penn Station to Ronkonkoma flashing past. Now 560 is heading off to Nassau 1. He's going to switch over to track 3. That was train 80 from Long Island City to Patchogue at 512. Well, approaching at 519 westbound is 563 Oyster Bay to Jamaica, picking up speed after his Mineola stop. Well, here's a platform I've never stood on. I'm at Garden City Station. This is the Cathedral Avenue crossing at the west end. There's a work train out there that's heading down this way. Got a westbound equipment train approaching, coming out of Hempstead, heading for Grand Central. This Hempstead branch used to be the old Central branch. Used to join up with the main line at B Tower, east of Bethpage, and then continued down towards Babylon. There's British Airways coming in from London. 544 approaching eastbound is that work train I was telling you about. This is a rail train headed for the Mitchell Field Secondary east of Garden Interlocking up ahead. The secondary is a remnant of the old Central Branch and is used for storage of these trains. Here's our work train. He's got a stop signal at Garden. 762 from Atlantic Terminal to Hempstead is due. Here he is. Here's the Garden City Station on the Hempstead Branch. It was built in 1907. Garden City is an upscale town. The wealthy live here, big time. But it has a couple of interesting structures. This is one of them, the Cathedral of the Incarnation. It's an Episcopal church built in 1885. Standing at the Cathedral Avenue crossing, and there's the said cathedral in the background, as we got 763 in the station and ride from Hempstead to Grand Central Terminal. Well, here's the other magnificent structure in Garden City. This is the old St. Paul's School. It was first constructed in 1879. It's currently unused, and I'm not sure what their plans are for this building, but it's striking. It resembles, it's not unlike St. Pancras Station in London, which is still used as an international rail terminal. Unbelievable structure. It looks kind of creepy when you hang around here at night because there's no lights on whatsoever. I feel like I'm in London, ready to catch a train to Paris, the Eurostar, but not from here. But oh my God, how it reminds me of St. Pancras Station in London. Looks sort of like that school, that orphan's home that was in that movie, Mighty Joe Young, where they had the fire. Remember that? This building is absolutely stunning. I don't know what they're doing. They got fencing all around it. Are they planning on reopening it? Alex Turney Stewart was an Irish entrepreneur who made a fortune in New York opening up a business. A lot of streets around here are called Stewart Avenue, and that's the Stewart they're named after. And now we move west to the Nassau Boulevard station on the Hempstead Branch, which was built in 1907. This is still Garden City. Nassau Boulevard is a pretty busy road in Garden City. Take it north, it'll take you to the Merillon Avenue station on the main line. Well, arriving Nassau Boulevard at 6:33 is train 768 from Grand Central to Hempstead with M9s. Now we move further west to Stewart Manor. This station was built in 1909. Believe it or not, when this was built way back in 1873, not the same building though, the station was called Hyde Park as opposed to New Hyde Park. There's already a Hyde Park north of Poughkeepsie where Franklin Delano Roosevelt's grave is. crossing is New Hyde Park Road, which also used to cross the main line. Finally, we're in New Hyde Park Station. Here comes train 565 en route from Oyster Bay to Jamaica. Here comes 566 from Penn Station to Oyster Bay. Well, today we visited the Garden City cluster. We went to several stations in the Garden City area, except this one is not in Garden City. All the others were. Merillon Avenue, Garden City, Nassau Boulevard, and Stewart Manor. The only one I didn't go to in Garden City was Country Life Press. But that rail train, that was the big prize today. Oh, here's 1666 at 657 en route from Grand Central to Huntington. This 1571 from Huntington to Penn Station is coming in. That train blanked out 44 en route from Penn Station to Spionk. Boy, you could really tell if its passing was hearing the diesel engines. All right, it's getting kind of chilly at 7:10 p.m. The last train I'll see here in this area is train 668 from Hunters Point Avenue to Port Jefferson. You should be doing the limit.